Hello and welcome to another video. I really like Doctor Who. I'm sure this is proven by my several Doctor Who based videos and also the possibility of a whole Doctor Who based YouTube channel that I may or may not be making soon. As such, in this video I'm going to be ranking all 12 modern Doctor Who series from worst to best. Keep in mind that this does not include the classic series, 1963 to 1989, and this is completely my opinion alone. Please don't give me hate because your opinion is not the same as mine. With that out of the way, enjoy! So starting with number 12, the bottom of the list, but not necessarily the worst, we have Series 11. It's 2018, it's Chibber's first series as showrunner, and Jodie Whittaker is playing 13 for the first time. Everyone is very excited for the first story, The Woman Who Fell to Earth, very clever Chibnall, in October, and as the date arrives, millions are left disappointed, myself included. Although Series 11 was full of unnecessary exposition and not very good writing, arachnids in the UK, there were some pluses. It introduced a new Doctor and 3 new companions well. It gave Rayan and Graham decent character development, and it also portrayed the Daleks, or should I say Dalek, singular, well in resolution. Saying that, the stories were all standalone, there was no story arc, and we certainly didn't get what we were used to off the back end of Stephen Moffat's era. Perhaps though this is why people hated this series so much. In my opinion it wasn't actually that bad, but because of what we had become accustomed to, we were felt let down by the start of this new era of Doctor Who. Coming in at number 11 we have Series 1. The first series of Doctor Who since its axing in 1989 was significantly hyped up. There was nothing to compare it against other than classic Who of course, so people didn't really know what to expect. 2005 was a long time ago, so I don't have a personal experience of this series being shown live, but I am sure that everyone who did experience it would agree with me here that Series 1 felt rushed. It was Russell T Davies' first series as showrunner, and first showrunner of modern Who overall, so a lot was put against him. And all showrunners will improve as time goes on, they're never going to be brilliant first time, right? However, with Christopher Eccleston as 9 quitting after only one series, it's fair to say that number 9 did not have his reign. Thus, Series 1 was far down the list. Aliens of London and World War III was good, Boomtown was good, and The Parting of the Ways was good. But, sorry Series 1, next time buddy. Series 8 is coming in at number 10. Sure, Series 8 introduced Missy very cleverly, and the story arc was well spaced and very mysterious, but the rest of the series didn't really do it for me. Up until this point, Moffat had never really written for another Doctor before, besides Day of the Doctor, more on that later. And in my opinion, he made 12 too dark. I know they wanted to contrast from the bubbly 11, but in Series 8, 12 was far too dark. The whole idea of, am I a good man? Seemed stupid and unnecessary, and they used it far too much in promotion. Deep Breath was a good episode, as was Dark Water, Death in Heaven, and not forgetting Robot of Sherwood. But In the Forest at the Night? The Caretaker? Really? For number 9 we have Series 2. Again, 14 years ago is a bit too long ago for me to have any recollection of this series being shown live, but Series 2 brung the feels to modern Doctor Who for the first time. 10 was introduced for the first time and everyone loved him. He is still one of the most beloved Doctors for many, and many fans started watching in 10's era. Army of the Ghost and Doomsday were fantastic episodes. However, is 2 Cyberman 2-parters too much for one series? Rise of the Cybermen / Age of Steel were also Cyberman stories. The Idiot's Lantern and Fear Her were simply appalling in my opinion, but The Impossible Planet and The Satan Pit were good. School Reunion saw the return of Sarah Jane Smith, a classic Who companion, played by the same actress Elizabeth Sladen. So overall, a decent series, let down by certain episodes. Series 6 is coming in at number 8. This series was not great, but the reason it isn't lower down on the list, number 10 for example, is that the story arc was top class. River Song? Melody Pond? The Impossible Astronaut? Yes please. This series was a great example of Stephen Moffat's talent to create great story arcs. However, this series had major letdowns for me, in episodes like The Rebel Flesh / The Almost People, and also episodes like The God Complex. There is controversy about A Good Man Goes to War, Closing Time, and The Wedding of River Song, but in my opinion, they are among the best of Series 6. Series 6 also is one of the 3 series that had 2 parts to them. the others being the following series, Series 7, and also Series 4. This meant that the arc was well paced. At number 7 on the list we have Series 3. This series had, yet again, a fantastic story arc as it expanded on the Face of Bo's dying message, "You are not alone." The 3-part finale introduced the Master to the modern series for the first time, and in a clever way. Professor Yana and the Chameleon Arch. John Sim's Master was a crazed maniac, and was a complete contrast to the cool and calculated evil of classic Who Masters. Blink was also a great episode, introducing the iconic Weeping Angels. However, the Shakespeare Code and Smith & Jones, among others, could do with significant improvement in my opinion. Coming in at number 6, halfway through the list, is Series 9. All I'm saying is, Sleep No More and Hellbent were rubbish. Oh, and also Heaven Sent was awesome. And also the Fisher King and his ghost projections were cool. Series 5 is coming in at number 5 on the list. We are getting into the ones that I really enjoyed now. Series 5 was my first series I watched on air. I joined the Whoniverse in 2010. The Cracks in Time were an intriguing story arc, and we also got the foundations for an arc that would run all the way through 11's era. We also got to see River Song back in the show after Series 4, which was a nice surprise. There were also some great episodes for a showrunner's first series. Moffat brought a new level of complicated to Who, and that's what I love about his era. Amy's Choice though? I didn't like it. It didn't even redecorate and I didn't like it. Number 4, it's Series 7. As I mentioned before, this series was split into 2 parts, airing in different years. The end of part 1 had the feels as we said goodbye to Amy and Rory, and hello to Clara Oswald, the latest innovation for the Doctor's quote-unquote snog box. The back end of this series was top class because the show reached its 50th anniversary. This is where, in my opinion, the modern series was at its best. From here to the end of Series 10, the show was simply phenomenal. The Name of the Doctor, the anniversary episode, Day of the Doctor, and 11's regeneration story, The Time of the Doctor, were amazing and explored the Time War in a way we never thought the show would. The Day of the Doctor also introduced a previously unknown incarnation of the Doctor in between 8 and 9. Of course, Time Lords were restricted to 12 regenerations in a regeneration cycle, so in the Time of the Doctor, the Time Lords grant the Doctor a new cycle of regenerations. However, does the Doctor actually need this? More on that later. Third place, and the most controversial on the list, we have Series 12. It's very much up to opinion on whether you like this series or not, but personally, I was a major fan. Chibnall really stepped up his game this series, and luckily didn't change the canon too drastically. In my opinion, of course. Despite obvious plot holes, like if Ruth Doctor was before Hartnell, how is her TARDIS a police box, huh? Chibnall changed the canon in the best possible way. Now there is so many questions that need answering, opening the door for new writers and future showrunners. This series really reinstated the Who in Doctor Who. The Doctor being the timeless child was very predictable, but they resolved most things in a clever way, and also canonised the mysterious Morbius Doctors from the brain of Morbius. I really like Spyfall as well. That was a highlight of the series for me. Orphan 55, Praxius, and Can You Hear Me Though? There's only one thing I can say. Benny! Second place on the list we have Series 4. This was a series I have only recently completely watched in full, and in my opinion this series was 10's best. Tennant really showed how emotional acting can be brilliant in modern Who. Part of the reason why Series 11 was my least favourite series. The specials were cool, and The End of Time was a fantastic story featuring the Master Race. Donna was a really lovable character, and her staggered appearance in previous episodes also helped to set the stage for this companion's run. Turn Left and the finale for the main series, not the specials, was great and saw all of 10's previous companions come together in an amazing story. Was there anything wrong with Series 10? The specials were broadcast a little strangely, but other than that, there was next to no flaws in this series, thus making it number 2. And finally, we have got number 1. I think the best modern series of Doctor Who has to be Series 10. So much of this series was perfect for me. The story arc, Missy's Redemption, the companion, Bill was awesome, the soundtrack, best part 100%, release it for God's sake, and the finale were all amazing. World Enough and Time / The Doctor Falls, brilliant. The 3-part finale, if you include Twice Upon a Time, was fantastically executed, and the Dr. Falls has to be my favourite episode ever. Just release the goddamn soundtrack already! So that just about wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts. Tell me yours in the comments below. Thanks for getting this far, thank you for watching, and goodbye.